right, welcome back in. McElroy and Cubelic in the morning. Appreciate you guys being with us. Continue talking national championship odds by tier upcoming in the 2026 season. Still a long way to go before we get to some of the teams I think we have the most interest in. Still have a long way to go before we get out of flu season. It's here. Make your home healthier with Trane's Clean Effects Home Air Cleaner. Removes up to 99.9% of airborne particles, including those that cause virus. 100 times more effective than standard air filters. 8 times more effective than HEPA room filters. Find a dealer near you at Trane.com. It's hard to stop a train. All right, so our next tier, when looking at national championship picks via betting odds, we just finished Texas Tech, Miami, LSU, A&M. We would make a plus 1,700 jump to plus 2,700 for Alabama, so we'll start there. We'll go Alabama, Oklahoma at plus 3,000, Ole Miss at plus 3,500, and USC at plus 3,500. Pretty big jump next to Michigan. So Bama, Oklahoma, Ole Miss, USC. Who do you like the most there to go win a national title?
Okay, we all have a pretty good feel for what Oklahoma or for what Bama is. So let's avoid them for a hot second. I look at SC and I love what they have. Here's the problem with SC. 1, they lost their defensive coordinator. 2, they have to travel 15,000 miles in conference this year. They did them no favors this year with the scheduling in the Big Ten. Did you look at this?
I did, but give me the team that last had a lot of travel that it greatly hurt them. They ride planes.
It's two flights to State College
and a bus ride.
Oh, I was assuming the plane would just pull up to the stadium. You didn't tell me about the bus ride.
The runway's not long enough. Remember, that's why James Franklin was.
Oh my!
Yeah.
If it pulled up to the stadium and the emergency air ramp came out and the players just hopped on that,
that would be epic. It would be so funny. Think about that. What if they just all had to jump out of the plane with parachutes and land in the stadium?
Just sliding down.
One after another.
Here we go.
You're up.
When the O-line hits, it goes down a little more.
All right. In all seriousness, though, let's just talk about this for a second. I love SC this year, but here's the problem. You have Rutgers on the road. Okay? You're sitting there thinking, all right, Rutgers, no big deal. I agree.
Just roll into Piscataway.
I'm not disagreeing with that. It's more the toll it takes playing that game, getting back at 5 a.m, and having to prepare for Oregon the following week. And then after you play Oregon, you get a capable Washington team. It's a handful. That's not easy. It's a tough team to play against. Then after you play Washington, you go on the road back east to Penn State. That's going to be a beast. And then you come home from that game, you get your bye week, which is nice. You go to Wisconsin. Wisconsin, if you actually look at Wisconsin's schedule this year, might be the most gettable in the Big Ten. Probably is the easiest, frankly. They have a couple tough games, but a 6-3, 7-2 Big Ten schedule for Wisconsin is not out of the realm of possibility. Then you come home after you go on the road to Wisconsin, probably get back at 4 a.m. And guess what? You're playing Ohio State that following Saturday. Have fun. Then you get your bye week. Oh, thank goodness. What a relief. Oh, you go to Indiana.
You know who you wouldn't be saying this about?
Ohio State?
New Indiana, Ohio State, Georgia. Spare me is what I have to say to this.
Well, I was concerned about Oregon last year with their travel. I was.
I don't know if they're in that classification just yet.
Who?
Of super rugged teams. I'm just saying. I feel like some of the reason you're saying this is because it's Southern Cal.
Perhaps, but it also, I don't care who you are, that takes its toll. At
okay,
Bloomington,
D coordinator, you got Gary Patterson coming in.
Yeah, I like Gary Patterson, but there's still change there. It's not
travel, woes, you have airplanes.
Is it easy to travel across the country and to be at your very best?
Is it as difficult as you're making it sound when you're doing it as a college football team on jumbo chartered flights?
I think it takes
police escorts and buses and nice hotels.
I think it takes its toll.
It does, but
it's not nice
the whole
hotels.
season takes its toll.
What nice
Greg,
hotels?
In different ways.
What nice
You
hotels?
think you're staying in crummy hotels?
Do you stay at nice hotels when you're in town?
What town?
All towns.
Some towns.
Which ones? Tell me.
Nashville.
Oh, great. Cool.
We get the lows. It's really
Awesome.
nice.
Never stayed there.
Well,
Go
I stayed
ahead.
at the courtyard down the street one time, too.
Exactly.
It's not
That's
great.
where I stayed when we called a Vanderbilt game.
Not the best.
Exactly. All right. 1. All right. Next. Okay. Waiting.
Hold on. You're telling me the teams don't stay in nice? I've
What?
gone and done coaches meetings at the Hilton in College Station. It's nice.
Same Hilton we're talking about here?
I don't know
The one next to the Republic?
Yeah, they just redid it.
Yeah. Real nice.
Okay, Sean.
Stop. If you like a steady diet of asbestos, it's a great place to stay. In all seriousness, no, it's not like these. Like
That would actually be the 5 points down the street.
that's where we stay.
That's a Socks On Hotel.
Guess what? We got to stay for the playoff game though. A&M Conference Center. Oh,
That place is legit.
it is legit.
I've never stayed there, but yeah,
You got to
I've
stay
been
there
in it.
sometime.
I've
Just
been
like
in it. It's awesome.
accidentally check in, be like, I'm Kirk Herbstreit. Just do that and see if it works. Like you should try. It's awesome. It's so nice. Anyways, I do think that takes its toll. All right, so SC, let's remove them because I just think it's going to be too much for them to overcome, frankly.
Okay.
That travel is too much. Give me the next team. Let's go Oklahoma. Oklahoma lost a lot of good players off last year's defense. A lot of good players. Doesn't mean they won't be good enough to replace them. I think they could. I still have some question marks about their quarterback. Just a little bit, not crazy. They lost Cole's boy, Deion Burks. I'm not sure how you replace that.
By the way, have you seen where he's slotted to go in the draft?
I can't
He's like
even.
top 50. Seriously.
His PR team's unbelievable. They lost
But-
Jaden.
But I'm just telling you, like it's wild because he did not live up to anywhere near the expectations that we had for him, and the draft folks are saying he's coming off fairly early.
We'll
Which,
see.
based on the production, I wouldn't have him coming off where a lot of people do. Sidebar conversation, but we got plenty of time to get to that.
All
Trevor
right.
Sikkema with this next segment to talk about.
Look at the freshmen. Fasusi, Pierre Louis, Foje.
I'll just tell you. Oh, let me just tell you real quick.
boy.
You're gonna hate me for this one.
Oh
bro.
my gosh.
Oh, you're gonna hate me.
I
for this
already hate you. So can I possibly hate you more?
one. You're gonna
Oh,
hate this one. I will just go ahead and tell you. Be forewarned. Get your eyes on Fred Hinton, offensive tackle from Eastern Kentucky. Mark my words. He will be a good player. I'm not saying he's Orlando Pace or Jonathan Ogden.
But if you're good, you have to be one of those two.
It's the only way.
Trey
Either
Smith
that or
and
you don't
Quentin
play.
Nelson.
Yeah,
You're either
that's it.
average or you're Orlando Pace, as you know.
I think Fred Hinton will be a good player for Oklahoma.
How many
this year.
stars?
3.
Oh,
That's why I'm an idiot. That's why I'm an idiot.
I trust you. My favorite guy that Alabama brought in their entire recruiting class is the guy from Cal Poly.
Well, I was actually going to say, similar to the kid from Michigan that we watched, that we like, Fred Hinton, one of the few tackles that you will see come off flat back, like actually win with leverage and understand how to drive guys off the ball and not sit there in a 2-point stance and try to, play patty cake with guys way too high. He actually has great lower body flexibility, which is what I love about him. Like
Look how flexible.
he can actually get in a stance and look like he's in a stance and not look like he has arthritis and he's 80.
If I take a team out of that group, I'm leaning Oklahoma at the moment. Here's why.
You're leaving them in, you're saying? Or you're pulling them out first?
No, I'm leaving them in. I think
for
of
sure.
that group, that might be the team I feel best about this year. Taylor Wine's back. He's a major difference maker off the edge. You get David Stone at defensive tackle, who's back. He had a big year last year and
Really
could
good player.
continue, like really good on the interior. They will miss the presence of R. Mason Thomas, but in reality, they were able to overcome his absence there for a few games down the stretch.
Yeah.
You will miss Owen Heineke at linebacker.
That might
but you
not
can
be
survive.
over yet, by the way.
Heineke?
I mean, if we're doing this Aguilar thing,
I mean,
you played 2 lacrosse games and you're not going to let him play?
three lacrosse games.
Now we're talking about not being able to play. Yes.
Don't yell at me.
I'm not, but I'm just telling you it's not over.
I'm not
I
in
think
charge.
they'll fight that thing.
As they should. And him being back would be really helpful there at the second level because him and Kip Lewis, you could probably make case one of the stronger tandems in the SEC. I think all the O-linemen, assuming improvement along the O-line from year 1 to year 2 is a fair and safe assumption. And Isaiah Satania's back. I think if you look at what they had, they also bring Robinson back at running back. They're going to miss Kanik. I don't think they used him enough down the stretch, by the way.
Guy just disappeared.
He
And
disappeared.
it's not his fault, but they just when I was up there for the playoff game and Gabe and those guys had me come in and do their live show, that was my number one question. I was like, "Where's Jaron Kanik gone?"
Yes.
Like he made all the big plays and the big catches the first quarter of the season, and then it's like he didn't exist. I didn't understand it, but I'm with you.
They're the team that brings the most known commodities back with a safe assumption on growth. We've seen them in the uniform. We've seen them play. They were liabilities at times last year, especially along the O-line. But year 1 to year 2, that's a pretty huge leap, assuming you go through spring practice.
Sure.
Which is helpful.
Some guys like to do that. Some guys try to avoid that at all
that
costs.
helps.
Oklahoma currently plus 3,000 with a national title.
I think that's good value, by the way.
It is. How would you respond to this? If I said my concerns with Oklahoma, if our syndicate is looking at these 4 or 5 teams and said, my concern with them is overall growth offensively. And I think you will know where I'm going here.
Correct.
You need to be a little more responsible with how you call plays, manage your offense.
You meaning just like don't just call plays, like manage the offense.
Let's get away from some of the backyard ball at times.
Correct.
And
but
some of that is the quarterback maturing, but some of that too, I think, is not having a run game to even lean on.
Well,
like
they
had
it a little bit.
Yeah, him running inside zone. What was their foundation on offense last year? I think it changed a couple times, but I don't really think they had one they were super confident in.
It was backyard ball.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think Arbuckle's young. I think there is a little bit of a learning curve in this league.
No doubt.
Because it's just a different level of personnel along the D-line. I think you got to learn how to protect your tackles. You got to learn how to mix things up, how to keep guys off balance. I think anyone that's calling plays in the SEC for the first time, they're going to be better served in year 2 than they would be in year 1. Just because there's such a different caliber of athlete that you're playing on a week-to-week basis compared to that of what you play at Washington or what you play at Washington State.
That's fair.
It's just the reality. So a couple things I really like. I love the pickup of Trell Harris from Virginia for Oklahoma too. He's big time. Really, really good. Deep threat, can really burn. I think he's got a chance to be Deion Burks, but maybe even slightly better down the field, which is big. And then Parker Livingston is as solid as the day is long. I don't think he's a game changer, but he's a solid, prototypical X wide receiver that's going to win on some of those back shoulders. I think he's very, very solid. And probably the most underrated pickup they got this year. You ready for this? You're going to love this.
I'm ready.
Hayden Hansen, Florida, tight end.
Okay.
You don't like him?
No.
He doesn't run block enough.
No,
He's an inline Y. I haven't seen him finish. He plays within the whistles. I don't like that.
I just don't know if that's the most underrated, but I think they have a couple of underrated gets that they're going to be looking at.
I think they had a nice offseason so far.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't push back on it, and I am with you. I think from that grouping of teams, I would probably go the same direction right now.
Plus, they got a tight end from Colorado State named Rocky Beers.
We've all heard everybody go crazy about that.
Rocky Cold Beers.
Let's say the next grouping of teams would be Michigan at plus
Is there
40.
anyone else? Let's break down anyone else in that group real quick. We're removing Bama. There's too many unknowns right now. There's too many unknowns.
No, I mean, Ole Miss, I think we know what that is. It's a lot's going to depend on Trinidad if he's back. If he's back with Kejuan Lacey, I think the offense has a chance to be pretty good. It's still a new coordinator, similar scheme, but different in certain ways. And some of that familiarity with one another does go away.
I think Charlie Weiss is that big of a difference maker.
I think Charlie Weiss is big time now.
You think?
But I think you're bringing in a good coordinator with then would be an experienced quarterback if Trinidad's back. I don't think the defense is going to take a big step back. I mean, Uman Mielen's going to be gone. He was fine. He's not a total game changer, difference maker like the portal people would want you to believe.
You got Eccles back.
Yeah, which really good player.
I think Eccles is good. I think their corners will be okay. I think they'll be all right at safety.
Cam Franklin is really good up front too.
Yeah,
he'll help
heavy-handed.
Perkins obviously does a lot of different things, so he can help you in different ways. So I think you have enough there.
I think they're going to be fine on defense.
Yeah, I don't look at them going backwards.
I think they're going to be just fine. You're going to need pretty big growth from whoever is going to be the guy that replaces DeJon Stribling and Harrison Wallace. That's asking a lot. Those guys were really good for him last year at wide receiver.
Yep.
And I think you just think, it's plug and play. I think those guys oftentimes took over games. How many times did the wideouts take over games last year? A lot. And I don't know a lot about this Darryl Gill kid from Syracuse. I don't know a lot about him. I'm just going to be completely honest. I need to go back and check the tape. That's significant. I think Jay Crawford will help him at corner. I think that's a good pickup. I love their edge rusher that they picked up from Blake Purchase from Oregon. He's real deal. He's a really good player. And I think if given a little more time, has a chance to develop into a real dude.
There's a big departure that we haven't hit yet.
Xavier Harris?
Daquan Wright.
Yeah, massive. But he was banged up most of the year down the stretch, too.
Still did things for him, though.
I agree.
Luke Haas came in and helped. Caleb Odom, the physical part, he hasn't really morphed.
You don't have the
yet.
matchup problem that you have with Daquan Wright. Like Odom's a jumbo slot. He's not a tight end. You know, he's a jumbo slot.
Trey Green.
There's nothing wrong with that. Well, he ain't Trey Green.
Well, not I'm just saying, like, he's in that mold.
Fair. He's a jumbo slot.
He's a kid from A&M we just mentioned who should be that. From Alabama. Tight end.
Oh, Amari Niblack.
Yeah, he should. Amari Niblack should be that guy.
Yeah.
Like, they're in that mold, but he never wanted to do it. So
Jaheim Otis.
Oh, coming in. D-tackle, yeah.
Coming in.
Listen, good player.
I forgot they got him.
Yeah, he can play. He'll help. He'll give him good reps up front. And we don't honestly know exactly what it's going to look like from a tight end perspective moving forward. It might not have as much emphasis as it did. But Luke Haas will help either way. And Caleb Odom will help situationally, I think. It's just Daquan Wright was a guy.
He was big time.
Did so many different things for him.
He was big time. It's hard to find guys that are big time now. Like a tight end, man, to have a guy that's like a big time guy is very helpful. So you're 100% right. So I think Ole Miss has a chance to be as good. I don't know if they'll be, or maybe a slight step back from last year.
Yeah, it's hard to see them taking a big step.
I don't think they're going to be better. And in order to win it all, you got to be better, and that's what we're talking about. Is there anyone else in this group?
No, that classification's over, so we'll move to the next. At plus 4,500, we get Michigan. At plus 5,000, we get Florida. At plus 6,500, you get Auburn. Plus 6,500, you get Penn State. Plus 7,000, you get Missouri and Tennessee, and I'm going to draw the line there.
Am I crazy to like Michigan this year?
No, I don't think so.
I really like them. I mean, I know it's a tough schedule. I get it. It's always a tough schedule. But I'm really optimistic about the marriage between Bryce Underwood, the quarterback, and Jason Beck, the offensive coordinator. That is a really intriguing marriage. And if you look at the productivity that the quarterback has had playing for Jason Beck, it's been really good. And granted, hey, Devin Dampier is really good too. But even when Dampier was down a couple games last year, Bird Ficklin came right in, no problem. I think that's going to be big. Andrew Marsh is back, gives you juice on the outside.
Andrew Marsh was a freshman. People don't know. He was a freshman wide receiver last year. He can go. He can play.
Like go.
They had some young receivers there last year that are going to be really good.
Yes.
That is not a position of concern.
No.
And I know we don't always look at Michigan and say, oh, wideouts galore, but they had some young guys that were really good.
Yeah, I like Michigan a lot this year. They'll miss their tight end, Klein, but they'll be in good shape.
Hogan Hansen get it done at tight end?
Got to check the tape.
Yeah, I don't. But I feel like they'll be fine up front as well.
You like Evan Link at guard?
Sure. They had a lot of young guys up front on that O-line that had to play a lot last year, and what I did watch of them, I liked. So, they're not going to not recruit that position the last few years. I mean, they've plugged and go there for a while. So I think they'll be fine up front too.
I like Michigan this year. Did not like them last year. Do like them this year.
Could be good. And Jordan Marshall was great at running back last year.
Excellent.
And that was, I mean, he wasn't even the guy the majority of the year, and he was really good.
Excellent. And they got a couple guys in the portal. Whew, they can go. Like the wideout, J.J. Buchanan from kind of like a jumbo slot a little tight end hybrid, like 6'4", 225. He can play.
I don't know how I'm going to. Now, I will say this. Of these teams here, it's not going to be Penn State, and I love everything that Matt's bringing with him, specifically at quarterback. I mean, you bring Rocco Becton, who's been with you for a couple of years starting. Like, that's a great starting point.
Yep.
But I'm just not going to think that it's all going to be just happy-go-lucky right away.
Look at the schedule, though.
Oh, no. Yeah, I'm with you, but just not – if we're talking about winning a national title, I can't put them there yet.
No.
Florida, I can't get behind just yet. We love Sumrall. It's a good get with the quarterback to match up with the coordinator, and you're going to be able to lean on Trayvon Ball, which is a excellent place to start. You lose Jake Slaughter up front, that's going to be big. A couple weapons on the perimeter gone. You have a couple back that are going to be nice. There are things to like about Florida, but this conversation, I can't put them ahead of what you just said with Michigan. Missouri is one of real intrigue, though. Now, my concerns with Missouri are going to be what they lost up front on defense, because no one wanted to talk about that front last year, and all they did was cause problems. That's it. They just caused problems on a very consistent basis. I don't know if that group's going to be anywhere near what it was last year, but Austin Simmons on offense, I think, could be pretty good. And you have the nation's second leading rusher returning. So that obviously is going to be fun. I think the offensive line is still going to be pretty good. But I just don't know losing Zion Young. Sterling Webb was really good. Chris McClellan was really good.
Damon Wilson.
Really good. I don't know if. Now, Marquise Gracial, really good up front. Love that kid. Love his story.
He's big time.
He can play.
Gracial.
But
It's Gracial.
Okay.
I just want you to be dialed in because I love that kid. I think he's really good. I'm 100% with you.
You need to know his story. His story is amazing.
I don't know his story. I just know on the tape that kid can go. He's going to be a good player.
He's overcome a lot, like more than you could ever imagine. But that front's not going to be anywhere close to what it was last year.
No.
Sorry, it's not. And yeah, no. Tough for me to get on board with Missouri. I'll take Michigan out of that classification.
Same.
Teams right there.
Same team.
All right. Well,
let's go. Are we on the same team on everybody? Golly, we're so back. 26 will be a good year.
No, you had Notre Dame. I had Ohio State.
Yeah, but you love Ohio State. Oh, the Buckeyes. Look at their stickers.
You don't love Notre Dame?
I'm going to be honest with you, man. I don't hate Indiana in that spot either.
Here we go.
Yankee.
Let me ask you this. Of those teams that we mentioned, Notre Dame, Ohio State, Texas, Indiana, Oregon, in the first listing of teams, which is least likely to screw up games?
Least likely to screw up games last year, Indiana by a mile.
Okay, but just in general, of what you think they're going to have and what they're going to be.
Georgia ain't screwing up games.
I'll take Indiana.
They lost one fumble last year on the 18th snap of the season. You think that's going to happen again?
Fake punt, running guys off the field. I'm just saying, I didn't see Indiana have any issues with that in the last 2 years.
I don't disagree. I trust them a lot. They're really well coached. Love Indiana. Love their program. I think they've had the ball bounce their way a couple times last couple years. Last year, they had a couple balls bounce their way, and they got hot in the playoffs. They looked great. I think we're misremembering a little bit, though. They were occasional growing pains last year. Iowa comes to mind. The original Oregon game was really, really good. People remember the high points. They're not going to focus so much on the games where they got away with one. There were a couple, not a ton. Okay. There were a couple.
Yeah. All right, so we got to get to a break. When we come back, Trevor Sikkema is going to update us on Mobile from last week, the Senior Bowl. Who improved, who helped their stock, who hurt their stock, who surprised. We discuss it all as we begin to look towards this year's NFL Draft next on Jocks. Welcome back in. McElroy and Cubelic in the morning. It's 9:27, Tuesday, February 3rd. Going to get to Trevor Sikkema here in just a moment to talk Senior Bowl. Who improved their stock? Listen online, jocksfm.com. Greg, tell our listeners about Polar Bear Services.
Wes and the guys have been coming to the house for a long time, and my wife and I have been saying it many, many weeks now. It's like, golly, we're lucky to know that the HVAC system has been set up beautifully to the point where we no longer have issues. We used to have issues all the time. And then Polar Bear Services started coming out and taking care of us. And we haven't had any problem since, knock on wood, of course. But Wes and the guys do a great job. Preventative maintenance. They're on time. They're responsible. They've helped us with plumbing. They've helped us with electrical. They can do anything. And that's why anything that goes wrong in my house, the first call I make is to Polar Bear Services. So remember, if you got problems with your electrical, plumbing, heater, air, just pick up the phone and call the Bear. It's 205-497-BEAR. That's 497-BEAR.
Let's welcome in Trevor Sikkema, lead NFL draft analyst for PFF. Not side, not rear, not adjoining, lead NFL draft analyst for PFF. I would like to know from you, what defensive lineman impressed you the most in individual pass rush drills, not using a bull rush during the entire week of practice in Mobile?
Speed to power.
Okay, all right. This is actually a great question, and I can tell that somebody from the trenches is asking me this, especially somebody who has done things on the offensive side. Probably Romello Height, I would say, the edge rusher from Texas Tech. Look, he's a little bit lighter, of an edge rusher, and so he's more of a finesse rusher anyways. But what I really like from him is the same thing that I saw from him at Texas Tech this past offseason, where if you go back to his Georgia Tech tape, he's really just consistently trying to attack the outside shoulder. He knows that he's sub 240 pounds, so he's got a little bit of extra quickness to him. He's got that first step explosiveness, and he always wanted to get around the outside shoulder and try that, dip and rip move, or just, bending around the outside corner, whatever it was. But this past year at Texas Tech, he did a much better job of selling that outside rush and then being very quick, definitive, and confident to get to that inside counter, whether it was, a club and an arm over or a two-handed swipe, whatever it was. And so I would say that he probably impressed me the most as a speed rusher. Nadeem Tucker from Western Michigan as well is kind of the same story. He's a little bit smaller of a player, but he can win with a lot of finesse. But those two guys, I would say, one with more than just a speed to power, long runway, no help bull rush like a lot of these other guys do.
Garrett Nussmeier won the MVP after what was a really disappointing final year at LSU. I don't think any of us have really changed our opinion on him as far as an NFL prospect. I think he's got game, but there was just something that occasionally the brain fart interception was just very difficult to overcome. So how much has Nussmeier changed the perception on the performance last week in Mobile?
It just kind of feels like with a down quarterback class, you could tell that everybody just, I would say within NFL circles, just wanted Nussmeier to play well this past week. And I do think that he did. The first day it was a little quiet from all the quarterbacks, as it always is. It's new offensive coordinators, new terminology. You're throwing in new wide receivers. You're going through different drills that are sometimes catered to these other guys, not necessarily catered to you showing off your stuff. But as the week went on, day 2, day 3, and then we get to the game, I do think that Nussmeier got more comfortable, and I think more importantly, we got to see him play with a good amount of confidence. And I think when you talk about the good of Garrett Nussmeier, it is that. It is a very confident passer that when things are going well, it's very easy to buy into. But, you mentioned it over the last 2 years, not just this past year. I know he was dealing with the oblique injury this past year, and that was sort of getting in the way of maybe maximizing the throw power that he has. But even you go back to the year before, you're right. There are times when you kind of just live with the good and the bad. I know everybody brings this name up a lot, and so I kind of get tired of it. But, it is the Baker Mayfield thing where you kind of just have to take the good and the bad. And we saw this past year with the Buccaneers, and that was sort of the full journey of the beginning of the season. He looked like an MVP. Towards the end of the season, he was one of the most unreliable and inaccurate quarterbacks in the league. And so when you talk about a guy who has that gunslinger's mentality, somewhat similar of a build to Garrett Nussmeier, these are just the things that you have to think about. And so I went into Senior Bowl week thinking that Garrett Nussmeier, given the fact that, he's a coach's son, he's been around the game a long time, we've been talking about him for the last couple of years in a pretty high regard, I kind of felt like he was that back into the top 100 quarterback, probably QB3 in this class after wherever Ty Simpson was going to go, and of course Mendoza at the top. And after Senior Bowl week, though, I think that just gave anybody who wants to believe in him, because he got better as the week went on, it could be a runaway train for people to say, okay, well, I'd take him over Ty Simpson now. I'd consider him in the top 50. I think that we're going to start to hear that talk as we get closer to draft weekend.
Trevor Sikkema joining us on the Higginbotham Hotline, talking Senior Bowl last week in Mobile, updating us on who sort of improved their Stockton help. I was surprised to hear a lot of buzz, a lot of discussion, maybe a lot of people sort of wowed about one individual prospect, and it was Taylon Green. I heard a lot of people just kind of oohing and awing about his running ability and his stride and just his overall athleticism. And I'm like, we just didn't watch him, or like he didn't come out of D3 out of nowhere. Like, why are people surprised at what Taylon Green is physically capable of doing in Mobile?
I think that it really is. And I don't want to be harsh on people who are in the draft industry, or, whether that's part-time or full-time, because I do love that it's growing in popularity, and I love that people are getting into it and all that kinds of stuff. But I do completely agree with you. Anybody who kind of watched Taylon Green this past week and came away impressed or with him as a riser, I would tell you has not watched an Arkansas game over the last 2 years, because he was exactly what he was for the Razorbacks. I would say even like this week, going to the Senior Bowl it's a tough environment for quarterbacks. Like I mentioned before when we were talking about Nussmeier, you're with new wide receivers, new offensive coordinators, you're learning as well as trying to lead. And so it's sort of a difficult event to be able to stand out when you only have 3 days of practice. It's not like Taylon Green did anything this past week that we didn't see at Arkansas. He was a good athlete. He's got a good arm, but he's really inconsistent. The accuracy is not there for him. And look, I'm going to be honest. I don't really care what you look like as a scrambling quarterback at the Senior Bowl. Like, I want to see you throw. We already know you're a great athlete. We already know that you could take off and escape, and you could be a weapon with your legs. We're there to see you throw. So I think a lot of the people, and I don't mean to be overly harsh about this, but anybody who kind of was saying that Taylon Green was a winner on the week, in my opinion, just didn't watch him at Arkansas and was impressed with the natural physical gifts that he has. That's the first thing that you write down in his scouting report when you get through one game of what he's able to do. But all of those inconsistencies and the reason why he's not considered a top 100 pick and somebody that could go on day one or day two of the draft despite those physical gifts are the inconsistencies that we continued to see when we were there at the Senior Bowl.
No, he's the real deal if you want to just draft a guy with major juice. I mean, he can flat out roll. I do wonder about the down and down out play and the big misses jump off the tape, and that's hard to overlook, but he can play. A guy I like is Sawyer Robertson at Baylor. He was in the Senior Bowl last week. Curious what kind of week he had, because I think he's kind of one of those day 3 sleepers, and we'll look down 10 years from now and be like, all right, well, he was pretty good. He's like a Kirk Cousins type, but with a little more mobility. So how would you assess his day and what the QB 3, 4, 5 outlook looks like moving forward?
Oh, well, I think that to answer the last part of the question, it is wide open. Obviously Mendoza is going to go number 1. We assume that Ty Simpson's going to be that second quarterback off the board. I think Nussmeier is going to be QB3. I'm assuming that Trinidad Chambliss is not going to be in this class because he's going through a lot of effort to not be in this class, and obviously he's missing a good chunk of what is the draft prep part of the calendar. So I don't know. It kind of feels like he's going to go back, so I'm not even counting him at this point. But then to your point, who's QB4, QB5, QB6? Who's right after that? I think it's anybody's guess, and I think that Sawyer Robertson has a case as much as anybody because he's got legit NFL arm talent. He's got that baseball background to him. He's a natural athlete when he's getting out of the pocket. He looks very comfortable. There was a specific moment, I believe it was on Wednesday, day 2 of practice, when his team was running a 2-minute drill all the way from their own 20 or 30-yard line. And it could not have been a more perfect 2-minute drill from him. I mean, he was nailing throw. He nailed the early big throw down the middle while they had the ability to get up to the line of scrimmage and spike it and work with the clock and everything. He was able to hit down the sideline. He drove his team down for that touchdown. He showcased that extra mobility to him. And so a toolsy prospect, as they say, who has the things that you want to invest in. I get a little bit worried about him, going back to his Baylor tape specifically. I thought he was a great one-on-one thrower. When his wide receivers were one-on-one on the outside against man coverage, he had no reservations about putting that thing up there for those guys to go up and get it towards the sideline. And I think he's a good touch passer and timing passer in that regard. But when it came time for him to truly read moving and shifting spot zone coverages, especially when safeties were up and back, giving you one pre-snap look and then rotating to another, I felt like he struggled a little bit more diagnosing those zone coverages as quickly and as confidently as he was to attack man. And so that's stuff that obviously you can learn, and you feel pretty good about the tools that he has. So I was impressed with him. I thought that he was one of the better quarterbacks, certainly of the week, and somebody who is, to your point, right there in that conversation with, hey, after Simpson and Nussmeier, any of these guys, I think, could be the next quarterback off the board early on day 3.
A lot of guys I want to ask you about. I don't think we have time. I'd love to hear your thoughts on Kieran Crawford, because I know in the game he looked great. I don't know exactly what he did all week, and I love his build. I love his flexibility. I think he was asked to do a couple different things that maybe didn't allow him to appear to be dominant at times, and maybe he could have been. But I just have to know, what was the discussion? What was the change in opinion on Diego Pavia for anything related to the NFL during your time in Mobile?
Yeah, really quickly. I mean, Crawford is somebody who passes the off-the-bus test with flying colors, right? I mean, that was one dude where I'm on the field before practice, and I'm like, okay, who is that? And then I see the last name, obviously, and I'm watching him play. He's got a really great combination of size, speed, athleticism as that outside linebacker type. He weighed in at over 250 pounds, just over 250 pounds, and over 6'3". So he's got that sort of like outside linebacker edge type of build to him. He showed some good flexibility. They gave him opportunities to rush with his hand in the dirt. They gave him opportunities to rush from a 2-point stance as well. So I thought he had a solid week. When it comes to Diego Pavia, I thought that Pavia was fine. I thought that he did a lot of the things that he did at Vanderbilt, which a lot of people will think is obviously a good thing because there were some positives. But specifically, I noticed the negatives as well. I thought it was more of a challenge for him to attack over the middle of the field on a regular basis, simply because it's harder for him to see over the middle of the field. And unless he has that great chemistry and timing with his receivers and he really notices things in that pre-snap stance, it's tough for him to see between the hashes. Now, when it came to attacking outside the numbers, I thought he was decent in that regard. Obviously, he's showcasing what he can do with his escapability as well. I thought that Pavia was fine. I really did. The issue with Pavia now at this point in time is I don't know how NFL teams are going to view a famous, notable, fan favorite quarterback as their QB3, right? Yeah. I think it's like the Tebow thing, right? Where it's like, okay, well, Tebow probably could have stuck around the league a little bit longer, but do teams want a quarterback who the fans are going to clamor for every single time their starter throws an incompletion? Are they going to want that guy as their QB3? So it's a little bit of a battle that's outside of his control at this point, for whether or not I think that he's going to get drafted. I think he is going to get drafted, but to me, that's a major part of the conversation with him.
Yep. All right, Trevor, great stuff, man. Appreciate it. Always good getting your insight, and I look forward to catching up with you again soon.
Appreciate it, guys. Anytime.
There you go. Trevor Stickema covers the NFL draft for PFF, joining us on the Higginbotham hotline. And I get exactly what he's saying, Greg, and we kind of saw a little bit of this with Shedeur, a much more capable quarterback when projecting to the NFL than maybe a Pavia is. Pavia maybe gives you a little bit more as a football player, versatility to do some different things, but I don't know. Here's just, this is like one small, teeny way to look at this. If Seattle didn't have anything for Jalen Milroe to do for them this year, what is an NFL team going to have for Diego Pavia to do for them?
True.
And Milroe was the fastest player on Alabama's football team for multiple seasons. So,
correct.
Like, if you can't get him involved, what's an NFL team going to bring Diego Pavia in and let him do, like, from a different standpoint? Like, it's just, I don't think it's there.
Here's the other thing. Upside. If you're going to be a QB3, you have to be a developmental guy. Like, is he a developmental guy?
No, he did get better as a passer this year. But
I agree.
There is no NFL ceiling of could grow into this guy down the road. Like, that's just not there. It's not.
No. I mean, with all due respect to the guy, good player, really good football
Great
player.
college player.
Love him as a college player. One of the greats, in recent years. He's been terrific. But what's the ceiling? Like if you are usually a number 3 is a guy with crazy tools that just like a Taylor Green is like dream number 3 quarterback. You know what I mean? Like crazy tools. Just got to teach him how to play.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that is not Diego.
No.
Diego's probably as good as he's ever going to be. There might be a little more in the tank, maybe get a little stronger, but you're not getting taller. I mean, under 5'10 is really tough sledding. I'm just telling you, someone that stood in the NFL pocket, you cannot see.
Yeah.
You can't see. So it's tough sledding.
Well, some of us are not as good as we're going to be. Some of us are not even as good as we have been. Game Day Men's Health would like to help you with that. Go to GameDayMen'sHealth.com today. Sign up for the free consultation. With that, you get the free PSA test, free testosterone test. They're going to give you your baseline health and then present different options that they have. Peptides, weight loss programs. They just want to help you getting back to getting normal sleep, having normal energy, feeling your best, weighing your best. They can do it all at Game Day Men's Health. Get the free consultation today for why not? GameDayMen'sHealth.com. Just go sign up. Go in, see the friendly staff, see the locker room environment, see the holistic approach to health and wellness, and find out what they can do for you. Save 10% on any service they offer by mentioning Mac and Cube in the morning when you walk in at GameDayMen'sHealth.com. All right, we'll be back with more next right here on Jocks. All right, welcome back in. McElroy and Cubelic in the morning. We've gone through national title odds. We've looked at quarterback depth at different schools. Joey Aguilar suing the NCAA. The Winter Olympics start Friday.
Yep.
Let's go.
Favorite event in the Winter Olympics?
Curling.
Short track speed skating. By far.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Been on curling for 20 years, man.
I'll probably go with the Monster G.
Short track speed skating.
Downhill.
Short track speed skating might be my favorite Olympic event of all the Olympic events. Have you ever watched this stuff?
I need to be crazy now.
Dude, I'm dead serious. You got to be insane.
More insane than the Monster G downhill skiers who
First
are
of
going
all,
like 90 miles an hour.
We're going faster than that.
250 miles an hour.
Thank you for backing up my argument. ACL's been repaired 7 times.
You have,
They're doing it
you have
again.
a death wish if you do that.
What about the what's the one ski event where they're doing the mounds? They're just jumping the whole time.
Moguls?
Moguls.
Moguls.
Talk about boring.
You don't talk about knees.
What's more boring, moguls or the cross country BB guns that they do?
Most overrated. First of all, that would be hard. You're out of breath and you got to like steady your hand and shoot targets.
I
That
didn't
would
say
be
it wouldn't
hard.
be hard. I'm saying it's not a good. It's not made for television.
Underrated difficulty.
They're like basically walking on their skis, and then they unpack their pistol. It's literally a pellet gun. Now, if they had like an AR-15,
Man, you know.
like a 50 cal, now we're talking. If they had a rocket launcher, I want to see that with RPG.
No.
Now I'm in.
No.
I want to see the Super G with a bazooka. That's my kind of Winter Olympics.
That'd
Right
be a
there.
drone shot.
You know the most overrated Olympic sport? The most overrated Olympic sport, because the way it starts versus the way it finishes, based on what you think, is absolutely the ski jumping. You think ski jumping is going to be sick. It's like, oh my gosh, these guys are insane. Look how fast they're going down this. And then just one after another, just land. Oh, he went 7 meters further. We have a new leader.
But it is
Such
wild to watch
false
him hang in
enthusiasm.
the air that long.
Oh,
it's
stop it.
wild.
I can watch a flying squirrel whenever I want.
Oh boy.
Go on YouTube. It's the same thing. I'm not saying it's not wild. I'm just saying after you watch the first 2, you're like, all right, I'm good.
Not if one of them's going to crash. I want to see if one. I want to see if one drifts over there into the stands.
See, that's your problem. Is like you are
It's
waiting
chaos.
for the chaos. Like to me,
Yeah.
like short track speed skating is everything that you could want. It's
You
athletic.
don't like it when they fall and they knock all the little markers down on the ice.
Yeah, I love that. I
They
mean, that's
go
amazing.
slide and knock them out.
Well, they
Apollo
like
Anton
knock
Ono
each
goes
other
right
out.
into the wall.
They literally like knock each
Name
other
one
out.
speed skater besides Apollo Anton Ono.
What more do I need?
Well, I don't think he's
The
in it
best.
anymore.
He's probably still in it.
No.
He can still go. Yep.
No.
Yep.
Tell our listeners about Crocker Moving Services.
Local company owned by an Iraq War veteran, Eric Crocker. Crocker believes in hiring movers you can trust to complete full background checks and run drug tests on every single employee. These are good guys, and you can trust them in your home. If they get your whole home packed up and move, your company headquarters moved across the country, or you just want them to come rearrange your living room, they got you covered. They also do deliveries for furniture that you've purchased and need to get to your home. So call or visit them online today for a free quote. The website's crockermovingservices.com. It's crockermovingservices.com. Support your veterans by choosing Crocker Moving Services for your next move.
Okay, when we come back, bad box scores of the day next on Jocks. All right, welcome back in. McElroy and Cubelic in the morning, 9:53, Tuesday, February 3rd, right here on Jocks. Bad box scores of the day here in a moment. Greg, tell our listeners about Canty.
Canty can fix it. That's Cantey, can fix it. And you know the wet season's coming. You know the water is coming, and it's going to enter into your foundation. It's going to enter into your crawl space basement. Well, we know that if your basement is damp or musty, water intrusion can lead to foundation damage, mold, allergies. It could even ruin your belongings. The good news is Canty Foundation Specialists are here to help. They're the experts in basement waterproofing. They'll come out, they'll do a free inspection for water damage and any other foundation issues that you think you might have. So if you're seeing some signs or if you feel like the water is finding its way into your home, do something about it by calling Canty Foundation Specialists at 205-509-3991 or go online, Canty, Cantey, canfixit.com. That's Canty, canfixit.com.
All right, quickly into Division III women's basketball. Cairn, C-A-I-R-N. Cairn University. They are the
Tattletales.
No,
Cougars?
Tigers.
no, they're the Highlanders. They took on
Cairn can be a Cougar.
Notre Dame of Maryland. The
Fighting Scots.
The Bays.
that was basically Cairn. They're the Gators.
Gators.
Exactly what we think of Maryland, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gators, and when I think of Notre Dame, Gators.
Well, the Highlanders did not play high above the rim as they lost 83-26. Your score at the end of 1:15-3 at the half, 39-8.
Okay.
Somehow Cairn would find 14 points in the fourth quarter. Don't know how that took place. They did, however, shoot the ball 51 times in the game.
And they made
11.
Oh.
Now, decided to take 15 shots from three.
They made at least one.
They didn't make any.
None, son.
Specifically, Kaylee Sabrino, who was 0 for 10 from behind the three-point line.
We got to tell her to calm down.
Ofer.
So I have this one rule for my son in basketball. I'm like, you're not allowed to yell at the kid that has the ball. You can't call for the ball. Just
Ever?
get open. And if he sees you, he will pass it. You don't have to say, Johnny, 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 Johnny. Like, he gets punished for doing that.
But in this situation.
How do you punish them? Pencil rolls?
Yep. They turned it over 31 times.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. John, tell our listeners about UAB.
Well, hopefully on Thursday. Actually, you know what? I hope UAB does end up in the bad box score because they trounced the Memphis Tigers. And you can be there on
Got 'em.
Thursday at Bartow Arena to see UAB take on Memphis. UAB Memphis this Thursday, 8 o'clock. It's going to be a gold out at Bartow Arena. The first 5,000 fans will get a free gold rally towel. UAB Memphis Thursday, Bartow. Get your tickets at uabsports.com.
Great stuff today from Andy Burcham, Adam Sparks, Trevor Sikkema. You missed any of that, go to jocksfm.com now to grab the podcast. You can always catch up there. We'll be back tomorrow talking Super Bowl and college football. 3-man front coming at you next.